We are keeping this train moving along as we are predicting all 32 teams win losses based on the 2025 schedule that has recently been released. And the Miami Dolphins fins up as we're getting ready to take a trip to South Beach. We always love going to South Beach. And we're back again here on the Flex Zone Podcast, your home for professional sports, the NFL, NBA, MLB, professional wrestling. Only place giving you sports how you want it when you need it. God's favorite host back again. Hope you guys been enjoying this series of videos. Let me know in the comment section your prediction for the Dolphins, games you're looking forward to, thoughts on the season, any other team you want me to cover. I'm covering them all. If you haven't seen your favorite team yet, just wait on it. I promise it is on the way. Let's get into it. Let's not waste any more time. The Miami Dolphins are, let's just come out and say it. They are known as a finesse team. You may want to say soft, but I'm going to say finesse because they have a lot of talented, skilled players that can play football, especially on the offensive side. I love the coach, Mike McDaniel, who came over from San Francisco. I think he has a lot of upside, but he's on the hot seat this year. If they don't deliver, if they don't make the playoffs, I think he could be looking for a new job. Now, they were second last year in the AFC East. Now, I don't know what the forecast is. Are they still the second best team in the AFC East? We'll see. Now, the question I think is going to come down to quarterback as well. Is Tua the guy? We know in games that is what, freezing or below, they lose. But looking at the schedule, I don't see a lot of cold games, especially in the second half of the season. So that could fare well for them because we know if it's what, 32 degrees freezing or below, they don't win a lot of their games. Their record is abysmal and it is not very good. So I'm gonna try to actually find the stat if I can real quick because they have not had a good record. Let me see. Dolphins in freezing temperatures. Let me see what comes up from AI. The Miami Dolphins have a history of struggles in cold weather games. This is according to Google. When the temperature at kickoff is 40 degrees or lower, they have lost their last 11 games. When the temperature was 40 degrees or less, and their most recent win in those conditions was 2008. Tua Tagovailoa has a poor record in cold weather, 0-8 when the temperature is 45 degrees or colder. So looking at that, but looking at the depth chart offensively, they don't have a lot of holes. Devon Achane, a track star. Tyreek Hill, still a good receiver. Jalen Waddle, an underrated piece. And not Jalen Waddle, but Nick Westbrook, Akine from the Titans. What a pickup. Just an embarrassment of riches at the position of wide receiver. Jonnu Smith, Alex Ingalls, a really good fullback. They still use a fullback. The offensive line, Austin Jackson is really the only name I really know, so there could be some weakness there. We know they had Teron Armstead who retired. So that is going to be a question, the offensive line, because if they can't protect Tua, they're going to have a long season. Also, defensively, excuse me, the front seven, Chop Robinson, we'll see what he can be in year two. I think he had a decent rookie year. Jalen Phillips healthy. Bradley Chubb healthy. Hopefully, they got some guys who can get after the quarterback. But do they have any guys who can stop the run? Kenneth Grant, Mac Dickerson. I don't know if they're going to be good against the run. And on the back end, they lose Javon Holland to the Giants. Jalen Ramsey, what is his future in Miami? Is this his last year? They don't really have any corners outside of Ramsey if he's going to be there. The safety position seems a little bare. They did draft Dante Trade out of Maryland, so go Terps. Shout out to him. But defensively, can they stop the run? And will they be able to stop the big plays in the pass game? Now, with the pass rush potential of Jordan Phillips, Chop Robinson, Bradley Chubb, you may be able to suffice and kind of decrease the amount of big plays because they can get pressure on the quarterback. They can win one-on-one, but can they stop the run? Dickerson, Grant, Zach Sealer, former Raven, can they stop the run enough? I don't know. Like I said, offensive line, I'll say offensive line and defensive line because if the defensive line is able to stop the run and get pressure, they will help out the secondary. But week one, let's get to it. They go to Indy. I think if they want to get off to a good foot, this is an indoor game. Track teams do well indoors. We've seen it years after years after years. The greatest show on turf. You look at the Atlanta Falcons with Matt Ryan, just thinking of teams indoors, the Saints with Drew Brees, Houston out there with CJ Stroud, even when they had Deshaun Watson. So these teams that have a lot of speed indoors, it plays well. They're going to the Indy. I think they win. I think the Colts are going to have a little bit of a down year, but I'm going with them to start 1-0. Then they host New England. This could be a toss up because we think New England could be a bell of the ball. We think New England could maybe take that spot because the question is who is the second best team in the AFC East? You can make a case for each team. And I think the Dolphins and Patriots maybe slightly over the Jets, but I think if they're home and they can beat the Colts, I think they can beat the Patriots at home. That will be in Miami. Then they go to Buffalo. I think they lose that. That is a prime video Thursday night. Road teams on the road on the short week I don't like. So I have them being 2-1. Then they get the Jets. That's a Monday night game. I think they can win that. So they can start 3-1. That'd be a good start for the Dolphins. Then I think they lose at Carolina 3-2. I think Carolina will be much improved. Then they play the Chargers. I think they lose that 3-3. Cleveland and Atlanta, you split those, you go to 4-4, both 1 o'clock. Then you host Baltimore, prime video game. I think they lose that 4-5. Then they get Buffalo again. I think they lose that 4-6. Then they get Washington. That is an overseas game. I think they lose that. I think they're 4-7 going into the bye. I don't have a lot of faith in them defensively, especially. And if Tua gets hurt, which I could see happening again, unfortunately, could be a long season. They have the bye, and after the bye, they have New Orleans. So I think they win that 5-7. Do they beat the Jets or lose to the Jets? I think they lose one of the games to the Jets. So 5-8. Then they go to Pittsburgh. Do they lose that 5-9? Cincy and Tampa. I think they split one of those. Maybe they beat Tampa at home on Sunday night. So 6-9, but then Tampa on the road or home 6-10. And then maybe going to New England, losing 6-11, maybe. Ooh, that would be tough if they only win 6 games. If they only win 6 games, a lot of his will roll to Miami. Will Tua be there? Will Mike McDaniel be there? I don't know. I mean, like I said, the second half of the year, they don't play any cold weather. Well, they play at New York, at Pittsburgh. Oh, those will be cold games, and then at New England. So, looking at history, according to this, 40 degrees or lower, they've lost their last 11 games. Last win was in 2008. Tua is 0-8 when 45 degrees or colder. So, New England will be a loss. Pittsburgh will be a loss. The Jets will be a loss. Like I said, they'll beat New Orleans and maybe win one of the two out of Cincy and Tampa. I think they win one of those. So, ah, 6 wins. Am I at 6 wins for the Dolphins? Let's see. Indy win. I think they start 2-1, then they go to 3. I think they start 3-1, but then they start losing 3-2, 3-3. I think they lose either Cleveland or Atlanta. So 4-4, 4-5, 4-6, 4-7, 5-7, 5-8, 5-9. I'll say 6-9, 6-10, 6-11 for the Dolphins. Wow. Yeah, heads will definitely roll. They'll be looking for a new coach, and they could have a top 5 pick in the NFL draft. Yeah, I don't like that record. Two is 0-8, 45 degrees or colder. So I'm going 6-11 for the Dolphins. That could put them in last place potentially because I think the Jets might win 7. And if the Dolphins only win 6, that could put them in last. And I think the Patriots might win 8 or 9. We'll get there, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts. We're keeping this rolling with all 32 teams, God's favorite hosts, Dolphins, knocking out all the teams one by one. Let me know your thoughts down below and who you want me to cover next. I promise. If you haven't seen it yet, it's on the way. It's in post production and it will be out to our wonderful Flex on family and in your sub box really soon. So subscribe, hit that thumbs up, hit the bell, and as always, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the NFL season. We're less than 4 months away, and let me know who you're looking forward to seeing. Games, predictions for the Dolphins: 6, maybe 7 wins max. I don't trust the health of Tua. I don't trust the O line to protect them. The coach is very good on offense, but defensively, we know they have Anthony Weaver from Baltimore, but their defensive line leaves questions to be answered because they got some good pass rushers, but they don't have guys who can really assert their dominance, control the line of scrimmage, and stop the run. And then the secondary, outside of Jalen Ramsey, if he's going to be there and he's another year older, what do you really have? But I'm going to say 6-11. But I wouldn't be surprised if they win 7 or 8. But I'm going to say 6-11. I think they missed the playoff shot again, and big changes are coming to Miami. Just kind of that team that never seems to be good enough to win the Super Bowl, but never bad enough to pick number one either. They're like maybe top 5 through 10, but we'll see. I think 6 wins is where I'm going. Let me know. Sign off down below, and we'll keep this train rolling with all of your NFL franchises right here on the Flex On podcast. Stay tuned for more.